Ladies and gentlemen, you were not created to live average, settle for less, or chase things that are already chasing you. You were created to attract favor, opportunity, abundance, and peace. Everything you desire is already within reach, not because of who you are, but because of whose you are. When you set your intention with clarity, the universe listens. God listens. God listens. Heaven leans in. You are sending a message that you're not here to simply survive, you're here to thrive. You're not hoping something good might happen, you're declaring that something good will happen. The moment you align your heart, your mind, and your actions with your dreams, things begin to shift. Doors you couldn't open start to swing wide. People you've never met will be drawn to bless you, support you, connect you. You don't chase it, it finds you. You don't need to beg for what's already been promised. Watch what you speak because your words have power. When you speak lack, you attract more lack. But when you speak blessing, increase healing, and breakthrough, you make room for it. Say it loud, I'm attracting what belongs to me. My season is shifting. My cup is about to overflow. You've carried doubt long enough. You've entertained fear long enough, but this is your moment to release every belief that told you you're not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough. Those were lies from the enemy trying to keep you small. But you are bold, chosen, anointed, and worthy of more. Wake up every morning with gratitude in your spirit and expectation in your step. Expect the email, expect the call, expect the open door. Walk like it's already yours. Talk like it's already done. Because when your heart is full of thanks, your life becomes a magnet for miracles. It's time to walk in bold faith, not the kind that waits to see before it believes, but the kind that believes before it sees. The kind that says, if it's mine, it's coming. If it's delayed, it's not denied. If it's difficult, it's still possible. You're not chasing blessings anymore, you're attracting them. And what's meant for you is making its way to you right now. So go ahead, live like it's on the way. Love like it's already yours. And speak like your destiny is listening, because it is. There is something extraordinary about a person who knows where they're going, who wakes up in the morning with clarity in their heart and purpose in their steps. When you decide deep down that your life is meant for more, everything around you begins to shift. The moment you become clear about what you truly want, not just what you're willing to tolerate, something supernatural happens. You begin to draw things to you that match the fire inside you. You are not a product of chance. You were designed with a calling, a mission, a divine assignment, but it doesn't activate automatically. You have to turn the key. You have to make up your mind that you're not just hoping life turns out well, you're expecting it to. You're not floating around waiting for permission. You're walking with confidence because you've already said yes to the vision in your heart. Every great breakthrough begins with a decision, not a wish, not a vague desire. A clear, unwavering decision. When you decide to rise, to grow, to become all you were created to be, you send a signal out into the atmosphere, and heaven starts responding. People you've never met will feel compelled to help you. Resources will begin to flow. Circumstances will line up not by your force, but by your focus. See, you attract what you are ready for. If you carry uncertainty, that's what you'll see. If you walk through life unsure, half-hearted, you'll notice more confusion. But when you move with inner certainty, when you carry a quiet confidence that says, I may not see it yet, but I know it's coming, you set miracles in motion. It's not about being loud, it's about being sure. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to know the how. What you do need is that unshakable clarity on the what. What do you want to build? What kind of life do you see yourself living? What kind of peace do you want in your home? What legacy do you want to leave behind? Once you settle that, everything else starts falling into place. You may not see results right away, but just because you don't see movement doesn't mean movement isn't happening. A seed buried underground doesn't show signs of life right away, but it's pushing, breaking, reaching upward. In the same way, when your heart is fully committed to the life you know you were meant to live, growth is taking place even in silence, even in stillness. The truth is, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you believe. If deep down you feel unworthy, no matter how much you want success, you'll repel it. If you silently doubt whether you deserve love, you'll push away healthy relationships. But when you believe that you are worthy, capable, and chosen, the world starts to mirror that back to you. Everything starts with what's going on inside of you. That's why you have to guard your focus. You can't afford to let distractions steal your energy. You can't allow temporary frustration to cause permanent discouragement. Life will test your commitment. Doors will seem to shut. People may walk away. But don't mistake delays for denial. Don't let the detour make you question the destination. Some people give up too soon. They're right on the edge of everything they asked for, and they turn around because it got uncomfortable. Don't let that be your story. Hold your course. Stay rooted in your vision. Remind yourself daily of who you are and what you're here to do. Speak to yourself like someone who knows the promise is still alive, even if it feels far away. There is nothing passive about this journey. It's not about sitting back and waiting. It's about showing up every day, heart open, ready to receive. It's about putting your faith into action, taking steps. Even when the path isn't fully clear. You show the universe you're ready not by wishing, but by preparing. Clean the space in your life for what you've been asking for. Start walking like it's on the way. Speak like it's already yours. Carry yourself like the breakthrough has already happened. Because the truth is, life responds to the energy you give it. If you walk around discouraged, defeated, and doubtful, you invite more of the same. But if you step in the day with gratitude, with hope, with a clear direction, things begin to line up. It might not happen overnight, but if you stay consistent, you'll see things shift in ways that can't be explained. Don't underestimate the strength that comes from being aligned with your purpose. When your mind, your heart, and your actions are all pulling in the same direction, you become unstoppable. The winds of favor start to blow your way. You find yourself in the right place at the right time. It's not coincidence, it's alignment. It's what happens when your life becomes a reflection of what you truly believe is possible. Every dream worth having will be tested. But tests are not meant to stop you, they're meant to prove you. To show you just how committed you are. And every time you stay steady, every time you choose to believe, even when it's hard, you're building momentum. You're showing life that you're serious about your assignment, so don't shrink back. Don't lower your expectations. Don't talk yourself out of what was placed inside you. Stand tall, walk with certainty, declare with every breath that what belongs to you is making its way to you. You're not chasing anything anymore, you're becoming someone who can hold it when it arrives. And that's the beauty of it all. What you're becoming matters more than what you're attracting. Because when you become the person who's ready, the right people, the right moments, and the right blessings can't help but find you. So keep showing up, keep believing, keep growing. You are not waiting, you are welcoming. And the life you see in your spirit is already unfolding. All you have to do is stay aligned, stay clear, and stay faithful. Everything changes when you start living from a place of deep alignment. That moment when your heart, your mind, and your actions are all speaking the same language, that's where the real power begins. It's not just about wanting something with your words, it's about reflecting that desire in your thoughts, your habits, your attitude, and your environment. That's when the invisible becomes visible. That's when the dream starts to breathe. There are many people who say they want more peace, more joy, more opportunity. But what they say and how they live are often at odds. They want growth but continue holding on to relationships that keep them small. They want freedom but spend their time in spaces that keep them confined. They want love but entertain what's convenient, not what's healthy. They're speaking one thing but living another. Life doesn't respond to wishful thinking. It responds to consistency. It responds to clarity. You can't just hope your way into the future you want. You've got to make space for it. You've got to shift your choices so they reflect the vision inside of you. That means sometimes you have to walk away from what feels familiar to step into what feels divine. You don't have to chase anything. What's meant for you doesn't need to be forced, but it does need to be welcomed. And you welcome it by becoming someone who can hold it, manage it, protect it. Wanting something is one thing. Being ready for it is another. You have to be prepared for the blessing you've been praying for. That means letting go of old patterns that sabotage new possibilities. If you're asking for peace, you can't keep entertaining chaos. If you're asking for healing, you can't keep feeding pain. If you're asking for success, you can't keep playing small to make others comfortable. There comes a point in your journey where you have to stop saying, I want, and start asking, am I becoming? That's where the shift happens. Sometimes the gap between where you are and what you're called to isn't about time, it's about transformation. It's about becoming someone who isn't just wishing for better, but someone who lives like better is already within reach. That shows up in your discipline. It shows up in the way you speak to yourself. It shows up in the decisions you make when no one's watching. And let's be real, it's not always easy. It's not comfortable to break habits that you've carried for years. It's not fun to walk away from circles that feel safe but stagnant. But you weren't born to fit in. You weren't born to just exist. You were created to elevate. And sometimes elevation requires separation, not because you're better than others, but because your calling demands more from you. Every time you say yes to growth, you'll be challenged. That's not punishment, it's preparation. Life will ask, how bad do you want it? And you'll have to respond, not just with words, but with your walk. Your daily choices, your energy, your focus, they all become your answer. It's easy to talk about the future. It's another thing to live like it's already arriving. To wake up and carry yourself like you're already trusted, already blessed, already healed. That mindset shifts how you show up. You stop begging and start building. You stop proving and start becoming. When everything inside you agrees with the life you're reaching for, you become magnetic. You don't even have to try so hard. The right people begin to notice you. The right doors begin to open. It's not luck, it's alignment. It's the natural result of a life that's no longer scattered, no longer conflicted, no longer torn between the past and the promise. Think about it like this. Your life is always sending a signal. If your desires are tuned into one station, but your choices are playing another, the signal gets scrambled. But when your entire being is tuned into the same frequency, your words, your thoughts, your actions, that signal becomes crystal clear. And the right opportunities respond to that clarity. You don't need to know all the answers right now. You don't need to have the whole plan mapped out. All you need to do is make the next right choice that reflects the future you want. One honest decision at a time. One bold step at a time. And as you do, you build momentum. The more you align, the less resistance you feel. It won't always be easy, but it will be right. Sometimes that means saying no to things that once fed your ego. Sometimes it means walking alone for a season while everyone else stays comfortable. But don't mistake solitude for failure. Don't mistake quiet seasons for inactivity. Some of your most powerful growth will happen when no one is clapping. When no one sees you shifting, but you know something is breaking loose on the inside. That's the beauty of this journey. When your inner world changes, your outer world starts to follow. You stop tolerating what doesn't serve you. You stop apologizing for dreaming bigger. You stop shrieking to make others feel okay, because now you're not just dreaming, you're preparing. You're not just asking, you're becoming. And the universe, your creator, and the world around you all begin to respond to that level of clarity. So the real question is, are you living like it's coming? Are you organizing your life in a way that shows you're ready? Or are you still holding on to pieces of the past that contradict your purpose? Start today. Start small. Rearrange your time, your words, your attention, your energy to support the version of you you're stepping into. Speak truth over your life. Release what's no longer meant for you. Surround yourself with things that remind you of who you are, not who you were. You're not lost, you're being refined. You're not behind, you're being positioned. And when everything inside of you starts to reflect the future you're walking into, you won't need to force a thing. What's for you will find you. What's aligned with you will stay. And what doesn't belong will fall away on its own. Because once your life begins to agree with your vision, watch what happens next. Your words are not just sounds, they are seeds. Every time you open your mouth and declare something over your life, you're planting the kind of harvest you'll one day walk into. What you speak today has the power to shape your tomorrow. That's not just inspiration, it's a spiritual law. Your life will begin to rise or fall to the level of your confession. There are people who live surrounded by opportunities, but their own words keep them locked out. They speak fear and fear grows. They speak doubt and doors close. They talk about lack and lack multiplies. But those who speak hope, who speak faith, who speak vision, they walk in a different reality. It's not that their lives are perfect, it's that they've made a decision to agree with the future they want, not the struggle they're in. You can't speak defeat and expect victory. You can't talk small and expect to grow. You can't declare what's wrong every day and be surprised when nothing changes. The words you repeat about your life, your health, your finances, your purpose, they become your reality. You might think you're just venting, just being real, but every complaint is watering the wrong thing. Every time you replay your pain without also speaking your promise, you're reinforcing the yangs that were meant to be broken. You've got to be intentional. Speak with purpose. Speak with vision. Speak like someone who knows their words carry weight, because they do. What you say in the dark will echo in the light. What you whisper in frustration will become the soundtrack of your story, unless you choose a new melody. Unless you decide to rise up and speak words that lift, words that call things into alignment, words that honor where you're going instead of where you've been. It's not about denying your circumstances, it's about declaring what's possible. It's about looking at a storm and saying, peace is coming. Looking at a closed door and saying, there's something better on the way. Looking at your own reflection and saying, I may not be there yet, but I'm on my way. I'm chosen. I'm equipped. I'm rising. The reason why some people seem to live under a cloud of favor, they've trained their mouths to agree with abundance, not scarcity. They've learned that life listens when you speak with authority. They don't waste breath on things that drain them. They don't give power to fear by repeating it. They don't invite negativity by entertaining it. Instead, they release blessing and blessing follows. They speak joy and joy becomes their portion. They declare progress and progress meets them at the next turn. What are you saying when no one's around? When the job falls through? When the relationship breaks down? When the money's tight? When the plan shifts? When the answer is still not here? That's when your words matter the most. That's when you either speak delay or destiny. You either reinforce the fear or release your faith. Even in silence, you're saying something. Your thoughts have a voice. Your internal dialogue is either lifting you or limiting you. So speak over your life every single day. Speak over your goals. Speak over your health. Speak over your family, your business, your future. Say what you want to see, not what you're afraid might happen. There's power in waking up and declaring something good is coming to me today. I'm walking in strength. I'm surrounded by grace. You're not saying it because you see it. You're saying it so you can see it. That's the kind of faith that builds momentum. That's how you create room for unexpected blessings. People may try to label you based on your past, but you don't have to repeat what they've spoken. Rewrite the narrative. Speak a better word over yourself. You don't have to accept every diagnosis spoken over your life. Speak healing. You don't have to carry every negative generational pattern. Speak breakthrough. You don't have to echo every limitation. Speak growth. Speak change. Speak newness. And when your circumstances contradict what you're speaking, don't back down. That's not the time to give in. That's the time to double down. That's the time to speak louder, stronger, with more conviction. Speak like someone who knows it's already happening, even if your eyes haven't caught up yet. Because once your words agree with your future, your life begins to rise to meet it. Don't underestimate the impact of small declarations spoken in faith day after day. I'm getting stronger. I'm becoming more focused. I'm walking into favor. That's not just feel-good talk, that's strategy. That's spiritual preparation. You're making room in your soul for what's about to arrive. And it's not just about what you speak to yourself, it's what you speak about others too. What you release into the atmosphere, blessing, kindness, hope it all comes back around. If you speak life into other people's dreams, don't be surprised when doors open for yours. If you lift others, expect elevation to meet you too. So let the words that come out of your mouth be full of vision. Let them echo the future you're walking into. Stop rehearsing the old pain and start rehearsing the promise. Speak like someone who knows they're not done yet. Like someone who believes the best is still ahead. Like someone who understands that the tongue has the power to shift everything. Because it does. What you declare in faith today becomes the foundation of what you'll stand on tomorrow. So speak health, speak peace, speak clarity, speak restoration. Don't let the enemy write your story with lies when you've been given the power to rewrite it with truth. Look in the mirror and speak to your own soul. I'm not quitting. I'm not backing down. I'm moving forward. I am valuable. I am prepared. I am more than enough. You are not echoing empty words. You are activating purpose. You're stirring the atmosphere. You're planting seeds that will grow into legacy. You may not see the full picture yet, but your voice is building it. So keep speaking. Keep believing. Keep declaring things that feel bigger than you because they are. That's how you know they're from above. And remember, your words don't just have the power to change you, they have the power to change everything around you. There comes a point in every journey where the greatest barriers is something outside of you, it's something inside. It's not the competition, not the economy, not even the circumstances. It's the quiet whispers that say you're not ready. You're not good enough. You'll never make it. These internal voices, these invisible chains, they do more damage than anything the world could throw at you. You were never meant to live small. You were never designed to stay stuck. That fire in your heart, that dream in your soul, that vision you can't seem to shake, it's not random. It's purpose calling out. But in order to step into what's yours, you have to unclench your grip from the thoughts that keep you bound. Too often people are living beneath their potential, not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they've been convinced somewhere along the way that they don't deserve more. Maybe it was a childhood memory. Maybe it was something a teacher, a parent, a friend once said. You're not smart enough. You're too much. You're not capable. And without realizing it, those moments turned into mental prisons. The most dangerous lies are the ones we start to believe as truth. This is just the way I am. People like me don't win. It's too late for me. But who told you that? Who gave you permission to settle for less than what you're capable of? And more importantly, why are you still holding on to that script? At some point, you have to decide that your future is worth more than your fear. You have to choose to let go of the stories that limit you and embrace the truth of who you really are. Because the truth is, you are more powerful than you've been told. You are more resilient than your past would suggest. And you are more prepared than your fear wants you to believe. Change begins in the mind. You can't have a transformed life with an outdated mindset. You can't step into new levels with the same old doubts. The mind has to shift before the miracle can manifest. That means you've got to challenge the thoughts that show up uninvited. Every time a voice says you can't, you've got to rise up and answer, watch me. You were not given a dream just to tease you. You were given a dream to stretch you, to develop you, to move you. And the only thing standing in the way is the decision to believe something better. Once you start believing differently, you start living differently. You begin to walk with confidence. You begin to move with direction. You start to expect good things, not because life is perfect, but because your mindset is now aligned with abundance, not lack. You're not responsible for the thoughts that were planted in you, but you are responsible for what you do with them. You don't have to keep replaying every failure. You don't have to keep identifying with every wound. You can rise, you can change. And yes, it might take time. But every day you reject the old belief is a day you're walking in more freedom. Here's the truth. You've already overcome more than you realize. You've survived situations that should have broken you. You've pushed through pain that others never saw. And you're still here, still standing, still dreaming. That alone proves that you have what it takes to rise higher. But the next level won't come through hustle alone. It comes through healing, through renewal, through retraining your mind to agree with your destiny, not your doubt. You have to make peace with your past and stop using it as a forecast for your future. It's okay to grieve what you went through. It's okay to acknowledge the setbacks, the rejection, the delays. But don't build your identity around them. Don't wear them like a label. What happened may explain how you got here, but it doesn't get to decide where you're going. You're allowed to rewrite the script. You're allowed to say, that may have been true then, but it's not true now. You're allowed to stop repeating what others believed about you and start declaring what you believe about you. And if you're not sure what to believe yet, start with this: you are worthy, you are capable. You are called to more. The people who change the world aren't the never failed, they're the ones who refuse to stay down. They looked in the mirror and said, I don't care what I've heard. I don't care what I've seen. I'm choosing to believe that my story isn't over. That kind of belief is dangerous in the best way. It breaks chains, it opens doors, it makes the impossible look possible. And yes, the old thoughts will try to come back. The doubt will knock. The fear will whisper. But now you've got a new response. You've trained your mind to expect growth, not defeat. You've trained your heart to reach forward, not stay stuck. You've decided that your identity is not based on your mistakes, but on your potential. Every time you replace a negative thought with a life-giving one, you take back your power. Every time you say no to fear and yes to faith, you build momentum. It won't all happen in a day. But one thought at a time, one belief at a time, you're building a new future. And soon you'll look back and realize you're not the same person anymore. You're stronger, wiser, more focused, and the things that once stopped you, they have no power now because you made a choice. You decided to rise. You decided to trust what was planted in you more than what tried to limit you. So step into the day with your head high. Let your words speak life. Let your mind be renewed. Let your spirit be free. And watch how everything starts to shift, not because the world changed, but because you did. That's where transformation lives. That's where destiny begins. And it all starts the moment you stop agreeing with limitation and start agreeing with possibility. There's a force that can unlock doors you never thought possible. It has the power to change your perspective, shift your atmosphere, and attract goodness into every area of your life. It's not about doing more, trying harder, or waiting until things are perfect. It's about choosing a posture that welcomes blessing even before it arrives. There's something powerful about waking up and choosing to focus on what's right. Not what's missing, not what's broken, not what went wrong, but what's working, what's still standing, what's already in your hands. That mindset sets a new tone. It creates a current that draws in more to be thankful for. Because when you stop dwelling on lack, you make room for overflow. Too many people are waiting for everything to fall into place before they shift their attitude. They think, once I get the job, I'll be happy. Once I meet the right person, I'll be fulfilled. Once the pain goes away, I'll have peace. But the truth is, joy isn't something you chase. It's something you activate. Right here, right now, you don't need the full picture to celebrate the frame you're in. When you start to recognize the beauty in small things, you prepare your heart for bigger ones. When you appreciate what's already around you, you send a message to life itself, I'm ready for more. You might be waiting on the next level, but the next level is waiting on your attitude. It's waiting to see how you steward this moment. Are you bitter about what hasn't shown up? Or are you building strength with what you already have? Some of the most successful people don't have perfect lives. They've just mastered the discipline of staying positive in perfect seasons. They've learned how to look around and say, this may not be everything I prayed for, but it's something. And that's enough to say thank you. They've chosen to look for signs of progress, even when the finish line is still far off. But it's not just about noticing the good, it's also about leaning forward with a deep sense that better is on the way. That attitude isn't blind optimism. It's rooted confidence. It's living with the awareness that what's ahead of you is greater than what's behind you. That you're not just existing, you're being guided, developed, prepared for more than you can see right now. The way you think about your future matters. If you're constantly bracing for bad news, living like something is always about to go wrong, you attract more of the same. But when you shift into a different energy, one that believes that something good can happen at any moment, you start walking in a flow of opportunity. People often confuse humility with shrinking back. They think they're being modest by not expecting too much. But there's nothing humble about playing small. You weren't created to barely make it. You weren't placed here to scrape by, just hoping for a few lucky breaks. No, you were made to live in overflow, to rise, to carry light, to thrive in the lane designed for you. That kind of life doesn't come to those who wait passively, it comes to those who expect it. It comes to those who show up with a full heart and a ready spirit. Those who say, I may not see the door yet, but I believe it's opening. I may not feel the breakthrough yet, but I know it's on its way. That belief is a magnet. It pulls the invisible into the visible. It draws the unseen into your reality. Think about it. When you walk into a room expecting negativity, you see it everywhere. But when you walk in looking for light, you find that too. It's not that life changes, it's that you do. Your awareness shifts, your perspective widens, and suddenly opportunities you used to overlook start standing out. Solutions begin to show up. The people you need begin to appear. Why? Because your spirit is finally tuned in. This is more than mindset, it's alignment. It's stepping into a frequency that resonates with your highest self. It's saying, I'm available for peace, I'm open to success, I'm ready for favor. And then walking like it's already yours, talking like it's already moving, thinking like it's already done. When you combine that expectancy with appreciation for what you already have, you become unstoppable. You stop needing everything to change to feel at peace. You stop comparing your journey to everyone else's. You stop being reactive to every delay. Instead, you carry a quiet power, a steady strength, a calm assurance that what's meant for you is already in motion. And that's not wishful thinking, that's real power. That's how transformation begins. Not when the world around you shifts, but when your inner world levels up. When you stop begging life to get better and start agreeing that it already is. Maybe today you're still waiting for things to line up. Maybe the results aren't there yet. But if you can find one thing to celebrate, one reason to smile, one step forward you've taken, then you've already won more than you think. And the more you recognize, the more you'll receive. So take a deep breath, take inventory. Look around, look within. Find something to praise and then stretch your hands and your heart toward the future. Not with fear, not with hesitation, but with a boldness that says, I'm not here by accident. I'm not here to settle. I'm here to grow, to shine, to elevate. You don't need to see the full staircase to take the next step. You don't need to understand every detail to believe it's working in your favor. You don't need everyone to agree with your vision. You just need to agree with it yourself. And as you move forward carrying gratitude for today and hope for tomorrow, watch what happens. Watch how doors begin to open. Watch how burdens begin to lift. Watch how your mind clears, your energy rises, your path lights up. That's the power of aligning your soul with the flow of possibility. You're not chasing miracles, you're making space for them. You're not hoping to be lucky, you're preparing to be blessed. You're not just wishing for more, you're walking like it's already yours. Because it is. There comes a time in every life when you can no longer play it safe. When staying in the boat isn't an option, when the shore is familiar but the deep is calling. It's the moment where you stop tiptoeing around your potential and start stepping into the unknown. Even when you can't see the whole path. That's when things begin to shift. That's when your story becomes bigger than your past and louder than your fears. Nothing great ever happens in comfort zones. Growth doesn't show up where it's easy. Destiny doesn't knock into places where everything is predictable. If you want to experience the extraordinary, you have to be willing to leave behind what's average. That means making moves even when you don't have all the answers. That means showing up when the odds don't look good. That means believing for more when everything around you says less. There's a different kind of power that comes when you decide to rise, when you refuse to be ruled by what you see and instead trust something deeper. There's a strength that comes not from what you have, but from what you know in your spirit. It's not always loud, it doesn't always make sense, but it's unshakable, it's relentless. It doesn't flinch in the face of setbacks or delay. Some people wait for everything to align perfectly before they make a move. But those who rise, those who shake the ground, they don't wait for clarity, they create it. They take the first step, knowing the second will meet them when they need it. They speak the vision out loud, even when no one else believes it yet. They make room for something greater than fear. It's easy to trust when the bank account is full, the opportunities are lined up, and the world is applauding. But real power is trusting when there's no applause. When it's just you and your dream, you and your purpose, you and the whisper that won't go away. That's the kind of strength that moves mountains. That's the kind of mindset that calls things into being before they exist. Every time you choose courage over convenience, you're growing stronger. Every time you keep moving when you could have quit, you're building a foundation for greatness. Because there will be moments when doubt creeps in, when delay tests your patience, when rejection tries to redefine your worth. But that's not where the story ends. That's where the story builds. You weren't meant to blend in. You weren't born to live in fear, constantly second-guessing yourself, playing small so others won't feel uncomfortable. You carry something divine, something the world needs. And when you stop holding back, when you show up fully, authentically, unapologetically, you give others permission to do the same. Every step forward, no matter how shaky, sends a signal to your future, I'm coming. Every time you silence the voice of insecurity and say, I'm still going to try, you shift the atmosphere. Every decision to keep pushing when the results aren't immediate is an act of power. You may not see the impact today, but your persistence is building a future you'll be proud to walk into. People will question you. Circumstances will try to distract you. The enemy of your purpose will whisper lies to slow you down. But when your inner conviction is stronger than your outer situation, you become unstoppable. Not because life is easy, but because your spirit is anchored. There's something beautiful that happens when you lean into the unseen. When you stop needing a guarantee and start trusting the process. When you stop waiting for certainty and start declaring that you're ready, doors begin to open. Opportunities begin to chase you down. Connections begin to find their way to you, not because you forced it, but because you aligned yourself with the flow of your assignment. You don't need everyone to understand your journey. You don't need to explain yourself to those who haven't caught the vision. You just need to keep walking, keep building, keep creating. Some will laugh, some will doubt, but keep going. Because when you get to where you're headed, the fruit will speak for itself. There are things you're meant to accomplish that don't have a blueprint yet. There are spaces you're meant to enter where your presence will shift the atmosphere. But those doors don't open to hesitation. They respond to boldness. And boldness doesn't mean you're never afraid. It means you don't let fear have the final word. There's a version of you on the other side of hesitation, stronger, freer, more impactful. And that version isn't waiting for things to get easier. That version is waiting for you to say yes, to decide, to move. Even if your knees are shaking, even if your hands are trembling. Even if you don't know what's next, some of the most powerful moments in life start with uncertainty. They begin with a risk, a decision to show up in the dark, a choice to believe that even though you can't see it yet, something greater is working in your favor. That's where breakthroughs live, not in perfection, but in movement. So keep moving. Keep showing up. Speak the vision. Work the plan. Let your action be the evidence of your belief. Let your life be a living example of what happens when someone refuses to settle. When someone decides, no matter what, I'm not backing down. You are not here to survive. You are not here to hide. You are here to rise, to shine, to build, to lead. And the moment you choose to walk like what you carry is real is the moment everything begins to respond to you differently. People will take notice. Energy will shift. Favor will follow. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just need to stop holding yourself back. Start showing up like your presence matters. Start creating like your work changes lives. Start believing that the thing inside you is bigger than anything that's tried to stop you, because it is. And once you walk with that kind of fire in your heart, once you decide to stop shrinking, stop apologizing, and start stepping fully into who you are, the world doesn't stand a chance. So today, I want to remind you, you are not ordinary. You are not here by chance. There is greatness within you, vision, strength, creativity, destiny, and it's just waiting for you to unlock it. You don't have to chase opportunities when you understand that you are the opportunity. You don't have to beg for favor when you start living like favor surrounds you. It's not about wishing hard or striving more or convincing the world you're worthy of. It's about stepping into alignment with what's already yours. When your intentions are clear, when your desires match your decisions, when your words reflect your future, not your fears, nothing can stop what's coming your way. The doors that once seemed locked will swing wide open. The people you need will start showing up. The ideas, the breakthroughs, the resources, they're already circling your life, waiting for you to rise to the level where they can meet you. Let go of the beliefs that have kept you small. Shake off the guilt, the shame, the doubts that were never yours to carry. You've been equipped with everything you need to rise. And when you live from a place of gratitude, when you expect good things, when you walk with boldness, with courage, with unshakable confidence, you step into the flow of divine momentum. This isn't just about attracting things, it's about becoming someone. Someone who's grounded, someone who's focused, someone who's unstoppable. The life you dream about isn't far off, it's right on the edge of your decision to believe again. So go ahead and lift your head. Speak life over your future. Walk like it's already happening. Live like it's already yours. Because when you do, you won't just attract what you want. You'll attract who you were always created to be.